In a world where travel destinations are getting more and more crowded, there's still one place that feels like a true hidden gem in Southeast Asia, and that's Cambodia, which is often called Asia's last hidden gem, which is for a reason, or many reasons actually, because it combines world-class sites, authentic culture, and relatively low tourism, especially when compared to its neighbouring countries, and even more so when compared to Thailand, the king of Southeast Asia when it comes to tourism. I mean, it's been decades now that Southeast Asia's crowning jewel has been Thailand. But today, a quieter shift is starting to happen, just next door of Thailand. But before you say anything, Cambodia is not emerging as a replacement, but more as a refreshing alternative, because Cambodia itself is still authentic, real, raw, and less crowded with more untapped beauty. And Cambodia is capturing the attention of those looking for something different. Plus, I've heard way too many times people say that Cambodia is just a B-Tech or a worse version of Thailand. And I think people have got the complete wrong idea about Cambodia, because in reality, it's totally different with new roads being built, infrastructure getting better, with very modern apartments and villas almost everywhere you look now. At least most of the places the tourists are going anyway. But enough of the intro, and let's get into the reasons why Cambodia might be the better option for your travels in 2026. Starting with, so while Thailand's famous islands like Phuket and Koh Samui have become global hotspots, they've also become heavily developed and crowded. You could almost say a victim of their own success in a way. So if you're looking for untouched islands and beaches, then places like Koh Rong and all the other islands nearby, in the south of Cambodia, might just be the move. They offer crystal clear water, white sandy beaches, and minimal development, and far less commercialised than Thailand's beaches for example. So for tourists seeking tranquility, or expats dreaming of a slower coastal life, Cambodia's islands offer a kind of a peace that's becoming harder to find elsewhere in this entire region. And in a world where many destinations feel over-commercialised, Cambodia remains refreshing and real. Here tourism hasn't erased local life, it coexists with it. And I'm in Siem Reap, which is more of a tourist city in Cambodia for sure. So if you're going to see tourism, it's going to be here. But even here in the tourist city of Cambodia, you'll find yourself sharing space with locals instead of separated from them. And in the entire of Cambodia, you'll find quiet riverside towns, jungle treks, and traditional lifestyles that haven't been overrun by tourism. Not just yet, anyway. This is travel the way it used to be. Immersive, human, and unforgettable. And I think there's a reason you'll hear some people say Cambodia is Thailand before it became the tourist king that it is today. And if you could go back in time a couple decades in Thailand, then it would look very similar to Cambodia today. Also, I don't feel like I'm in a tourist bubble here. I actually feel like I'm early to the trend for once. And one of Cambodia's biggest secrets is that it's incredibly affordable. Especially when compared to nearby countries like Thailand, you can enjoy a full, delicious local meal for just a couple dollars. For example, there's a cafe not far from me where I eat for $1.25, and the food is amazing. You can also get comfortable accommodations, even boutique or luxury hotels that often cost less than what you pay for a basic stay in any of the neighbouring countries. Then transportation, that's cheap and easy with tuk-tuks everywhere. And as far as travel experiences, these are actually accessible without breaking the bank. Whether you're a backpacker, traveller or expat, then Cambodia offers incredible value without sacrificing the overall experience. Now, Cambodian cuisine, which is often overshadowed by Thai or Vietnamese food, but it's fresh, herbal, and less spicy, which let me tell you is a real blessing for me. And sometimes a meal might hit my spice limit, but I can handle what they seem to throw at me here. Maybe living in Thailand for a year helped me get used to the spice more, but since I'm still a white man, there's levels to spice that I can handle, of course. And the country itself is known for a few dishes. I mean, beef lok lak is one of my favourites now, and the food in general is still authentic and not overly adapted for tourists. But there's some big name companies like KFC and Burger King, of course, but here in Cambodia there's not a single McDonald's, for example. So don't think you can eat Western food every day. You will have to eat more like a local if you live here long enough, unless you don't mind eating pizza every day, because there seems to be loads of Italian restaurants here, which I found very surprising. At the heart of its identity lies the majestic Angkor temples, especially Angkor Wat, of course, the largest religious monument on the planet. But Cambodia's culture goes far beyond just Angkor Wat itself. You'll see monks every morning, you'll hear the traditional Khmer music, some days walking around, and the culture here isn't performative at all. It's a living, breathing part of everyday life. Despite modernisation, Cambodia is held tight to its heritage, and there's a sense of resilience and pride that visitors can feel the moment they arrive. I mean, you'll see family-run shops on every street, weddings that somehow shut down half the neighbourhood, and grandparents selling street food recipes that haven't changed in 40 years. there's this feeling that local life still matters more than influencer life. And honestly, that's rare nowadays in Southeast Asia. You'll be sitting at a plastic table eating noodles for $1.50, while a karaoke speaker explodes in the background, and a guy transports 6 chickens on a motorbike like it's perfectly normal. And somehow, that's the charm. Even places like Siem Reap, which is obviously a bit more touristy, still feel deeply Cambodian, once you leave Pub Street that is. You go 5 minutes away from the tourists and suddenly you're at a local market where nobody's trying to sell you elephant pants. Plus, Cambodia hasn't completely polished itself for foreigners yet, and hopefully it never does, because that rough around the edges feeling is exactly why people fall in love with it. So, is Cambodia actually better than Thailand? Honestly, it does depend on what you're looking for, because if you want giant malls, perfect roads, and air-conditioned convenience everywhere you go, then Thailand probably still wins there. But if you want a place that still feels a little wild, a little chaotic, but somehow more memorable in ways, then Cambodia has something very special to offer, because it's the kind of place where a quick holiday turns into, maybe I'll stay another month. And then suddenly you're arguing with tuk-tuk drivers and broken Khmer, eating $2 noodles at midnight, and you're telling everyone back home that you've found yourself, whatever that actually means. And don't get me wrong, Cambodia isn't perfect by no means. The roads are dusty and they will test your patience, the heat feels personal, and the power occasionally disappears like it owes somebody money. But life here still feels real. Yes, it's a little messy, a little unpredictable, but it's still absolutely real. And maybe that's why so many people quietly fall in love with Cambodia. It's not trying to impress you, it's not trying to be luxury Dubai or futuristic Singapore, it's just Cambodia. Weird, warm, chaotic, affordable, and strangely addictive. So if you're looking for adventure, community, simplicity, and that feeling that you've discovered something before the rest of the world catches on, Cambodia might actually win. At least for now, anyway. I mean, you can still stumble across empty temples, random local markets, hidden cafes, and bars where everybody somehow knows each other after 2 nights here. But I'm sure if you give it another few years, and there'll probably be a smoothie bowl cafe and luxury condos on every corner, charging $14 for avocado toast. So maybe it really is Asia's last hidden gem. Well, that's until everybody watching this video books a one-way ticket, that is. So enjoy the hidden gem while it's still hidden. And also, it's good to remember, it's not just about where you go. It's mostly about how a place makes you feel when you're actually there. And for many, Cambodia is starting to feel like the better choice in that regard. I mean, it did for me. That's partly why I chose to leave Thailand and move here at the end of the day. I just enjoyed the overall vibe of this place a hell of a lot more. But I'm sure there's those of you who will disagree with me, and I'm sure you'll let me know in the comment section below. But that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.